Hello everybody, this is Captain Jerwa, bringing you all another showdown battle. This is going to be round 3 in the loser's bracket of Phozon's Tourney. The reason I'm not bringing you guys round 2 is because I had that against Molvo19 on my DS. We actually battled in person because we live in the same city, so that was kind of cool. But because of that, I'm not going to be able to upload that battle because, yeah, it's on my DS and I have no way of filming that or anything. So this is going to be round 3 against NineTailsPrower. He's going by the alt nobody else here. And yeah, I'm on the other side here again because it's a showdown replay. Because that always happens on showdown replays. That's the reason I haven't done replays in a while. But anyway, looking at the teams, the two big problems on his team are Ferrothorn and Landorus T. Because basically the only thing I have to hit Ferrothorn is close combat from my Terrakion, which his Landorus can take really well, and Fire Blast on my T-Tar, which and he has a rain team. Like the Politoed is also a pretty big problem. So what I really need to do here is just try to take down that Ferrothorn and get Stealth Rocks up to wear down that Landorus T. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I played really risky this battle, so we're going to see how that turns out. But I'll lead off with the Rotom. He leads off with Ferrothorn. This is not good because I just have to full switch out, and he gets to get up spikes. I went into Terrakion right away because I was pretty sure he was just going to go for hazards or something. And now I just go straight for a close combat just because, you know, not going to predict too early in the battle. But that's kind of moot because on this turn I predict him to go for Stealth Rocks, stay in, and hit him with a close combat. If he had Earthquake there, I would have lost my Terrakion, which is my biggest threat. But since I did stay in close combat him there, he has lost over a third of his health. So made a really risky play and did get some nice damage on this Landorus T. So yeah, now I know he's definitely going to go for Earthquake, so I go into my Rotom. He U-turns, I go straight for a Volt Switch because I know he's not going to want to stay in on a freaking Rotom Wash with a Landorus. So I Volt Switch right back out. I go into my T-Tar, which, not the smartest because it does tell him I definitely have Fire Blast. But I didn't really want to go into Terrakion just because I didn't want it to take too much hazards damage. And he still has like a perfect switch in the form of Landorus, so I would have had to go for close combat because, yeah, it'd be too risky not to. But now I go into Latios on his Politoed. He does miss a Toxic, which is a little unfortunate, but you know, hacks happens. And I decided to just go right into my Rotom Wash because I don't want to get Toxic, and I can just Volt Switch right out again. So that's exactly what I do. He goes into Latios though, but I do go for a Thunder Wave, just because I thought he would go into Latios there, and having that thing paralyzed is very good because one, if he was offensive, I could outspeed with my own Latios, and I can outspeed him with my Scissor and hit him with the U-turn, so that's good. But now I Volt Switch out again. He goes into his Pharaoh. I do just Volt Switch out straight into Terrakion because I want to pressure him out, and I want to hit this Landorus T with a Banded Stone Edge, and there it is. Banded Stone Edge, bop, nice 41%, nice to a KO on its remaining health. If I had not close combated earlier, I would not have been able to KO him here, so now I can play a lot more aggressively. I know he's not going to want to lose his Landorus, so I just double into Hippo. He goes into Toxicroak, which means that's great, because I can set up rocks here, and I can start wearing down this freaking Politoed, and just basically just wear down that Landorus T also. So I'm in a better situation now. The problem is that Ferrothorn still, because Ferrothorn's still at a really good amount of health. Politoed is still at a really good amount of health, and if he keeps setting up hazards with Ferrothorn, that he could still just easily win this game by just wearing down my Terrakion, and yeah, because my Terrakion's my win condition at this point. So yeah, I just Pain Split his Latios with my Rotom, and then I just Volt Switch out again. I don't know why he kept switching out into Ferrothorn on my Rotom. He could have just stayed in with his Latios, but he does decide to do that. But now that his Landorus is weakened, I can bring in Terrakion, go for a close combat. Anything is going to get 2 at KO at this point, because Banded Terrakion is such a beast. I mean, look at that. 73% to a Toxicroak. Bam, bop, bop. Banded Terrakion is just way too strong. And yeah, it just feels so awesome that Banded Terrakion is doing so much work when he has 3 resists for it, so that's pretty cool. That was basically my plan at the beginning of this battle, was just to keep bringing in Banded Terrakion and just weaken his team a bunch. So he brings in Keldeo now. It's most likely Scarf, so I just go into Latios, because Latios is a pretty decent counter to this. It does do quite a bit still, that Hydro Pump, because I am offensive, so I really should have just recovered there, but I was just an idiot and go for a Psyshock, which means that he can bring in the Ferrothorn. This thing is a problem. He can get up more spikes, so what I decide to do is just bring in my Tyranitar just as fodder, kind of. He does go for a Leech Seed, as opposed to another layer of spikes, so that's kind of bad. But I go for a low kick here, just because it hits the Ferrothorn, and if he brought in Politoed, it would hit that. But he just sets up more spikes. I'm like, ah, crap. Alright, I'm just going to Fire Blast. Don't care if he brings in Politoed, and he does stay in, so that is very, very good, because that Ferrothorn's now dead, which means my Latios has pretty good initiative against his team now. He has no resist to Dragon, and his only resist to Psyshock is his Latios, which I paralyzed with T-Wave Rotom, which means that I can just outspeed and kill that. Yeah, but on the free switch, bring in my Rotom, crit him with a Volt Switch, so that is kind of unfortunate. I did kind of get some hacks against him in this battle, which does kind of suck. Yeah, but you know, hacks does happen, and I did get hacked out of my first battle as Tourney, so yeah. But now, he brings in Keldeo on my Hippowdon. I, for some reason, didn't fodder it. I didn't really need Hippowdon. I guess I just kept it just in case that Toxicroak got out of hand. But it is pretty low, so I could have just stayed with Hippowdon. But now he goes into I don't know why he was switching out with his Latios on my Rotom. Like, Latios is a pretty good check for Rotom, I don't know, but he just brings in Toxicroak and kills me with that Drain Punch. But on the next turn, I can just bring in the freaking Banded Terrakion and kill something with a close combat, because, you know, that's what Banded Terrakion does. He just kills things with close combat, so yeah, that's, at this point, he's only got 2 Pokemon left, which are Keldeo and Latios, and, I do have my own Latios left, which basically destroys both of those things. I can basically just bring in my Latios here, go for a Psyshock, and he does decide to go into his Latios, but because T-Wave Rotom is such an annoyance, yeah, his Latios is kind of gonna just die here, and then it's just gonna be my last 3 Pokemon versus his Keldeo. And I was kind of stupid and just, like, went into Scissor on his Keldeo instead of just staying in and Psyshocking, which would have probably killed him, or probably wouldn't have killed him, but I could have taken 2 Hydro Pumps easily, so yeah, that's basically gonna be it. I'm just gonna Bullet Punch him really very slowly and painfully, so that's that. He missed the Hydro Pump, but obviously didn't matter because I have a Latios left. But yeah, that's round 3 of the tournament against NineTailsPrower. I did play very risky in the beginning with my Terrakion, but I think it definitely did pay off in the end. If he did Earthquake, though, I definitely would have lost this match just based on how much work my Terrakion did against his team. I think it got at least 4 kills, so yeah. Playing risky, it's high risk, but pretty high reward too, I guess. So that was that battle. I'll hopefully bring you guys my next round soon, and yeah, I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you all later. Peace. Jesus, a long narration.